Hello, welcome to this presentation with me, Teacher Sivile from Fountain School. I will be taking grade 5s in integrated science today, and in integrated science we are looking at plants and animals. Plants and animals. Before I go into what I want us to discuss today, I would want us first of all to look at what we discussed last time when we met in class. Last time we did look at pests. Pests. I know where you are, you're able to remember what we said about pests. One, we said a pest is a small animal that destroys crop and its produce. It's a small animal that destroys crop and its produce. So there are different types of pests. There are different examples of pests. We did talk about weevils. Under weevils, we did say they destroy stored grains of maize, stored grains of rice, stored grains of beans, weevils. Apart from weevils, we did look at maize borers. Maize borers. The word borer is coming from the word boring. To bore simply means to make holes in grains. So these maize borers usually make holes in the maize grains, the stored maize grains. It happens that after you harvest, then you store your maize grains. When they get attacked by maize borers, then your maize products will be affected. Apart from maize borers, we did look at aphids. Aphids. We said aphids attack leaves of vegetables as well as citrus fruits. They attack leaves of vegetables as well as the citrus fruits. How do they do that? They bore or make holes in the fruits. Apart from that, we said they suck the sap from the plants of vegetables. Apart from aphids, we talked about termites. Termites. We said termites usually love to attack small plants, such as young plants of maize, young plants of vegetables. Apart from termites, we did discuss the locusts. The locusts. We said locusts come in different groups. They are what we call red locusts as well as the desert locusts. The red locusts are among the most dangerous and destructive animals. These usually attack plants ranging from maize leaves, vegetables, including grass. That is how dangerous locusts are. Today we will not keep on dwelling on pests. Today I want us to look at something else. And what we are looking at today is what we are calling parasites. 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 I would want you to imagine what a parasite is. What do you think is a parasite? A parasite. From your own understanding, where you'll be watching this video from, I want you to try to imagine what a parasite is. Well, without wasting much of your time, a parasite is an organism that lives and feeds on another organism. A parasite is an organism that lives and feeds on another organism. So we are saying a parasite is an organism that lives and feeds on another organism. That is what a parasite is. What this simply means is that it gets food from another organism. Apart from getting food, it also finds shelter on that other organism. Such an organism that behaves in that manner is what we are calling a parasite. Now, the organism where the parasite lives on is called a host. An organism where the parasite lives on is known as a host. So we are saying a parasite lives and feeds from a host. A parasite lives and feeds from a host. So that is how these parasites behave. At this moment in time, I want us to look at the types of parasites. Types of parasites. Types of parasites. Parasites come in two types. Parasites come in two types. We have what we call external parasites. External parasites. Apart from external parasites, we have internal parasites. Internal parasites. What could be the difference between these two types of parasites? What do you think could be the difference between these two types of parasites? Let's get into details looking at these. So, number one, we have what we call external parasites. The word external means outside. The word external means outside. So external parasites are parasites that live outside the body of the host. These are parasites that live outside the body of the host, meaning they do not live inside the body of the host. What about internal parasites? Internal parasites. Internal parasites. Now, the word internal means inside. The word internal means inside. So what's the meaning of internal parasites? Well, these are parasites that live inside the body. They live inside the body of the host. They live inside the body of the host. Let us go into details and look at these external and internal parasites. There are different examples of internal and external parasites. Let's have a look at them. Okay, here with me on this chart are the examples of internal as well as external parasites. When we talk about external parasites, we have ticks. Ticks are external parasites. They live outside the body of dogs, outside the body of cats, outside the body of cows. Yeah, so these are examples of external parasites. They suck blood. They live by sucking blood from the water, the host. Apart from the ticks, we have the fleas. The fleas. The fleas are examples of external parasites. Them as well live outside the body of their host. They bite and suck water, blood from their host. Apart from the fleas and the ticks, we have lice. Lice. When it is one, we say louse. So lice also are external parasites in the sense that they live outside the body of the host. Now, animals also do have lice, just like people. If you're not bathing, if you're not washing your clothes, you're likely to develop what? Lice. They bite and they suck blood from the host. So they feed by biting and sucking blood from the water, the host. Apart from these three, we also have what we call tsetse flies. Tsetse flies. Tsetse flies are external parasites. They are one example of flies that bite usually animals, especially cattle. Now, these flies are dangerous in the sense that they spread a disease to animals. They spread a disease we call nagana in animals. They spread a disease called the nagana in animals. If it's in people, they spread a disease we call sleeping sickness. So that is how dangerous these flies can be. Now, these are the examples of what? External parasites. Once more, we have ticks, we have fleas, we have lice, we have flies. Let us look at examples of internal parasites. Like we said, these live inside the body of the host. They live inside the body of the host. Examples are roundworms. We have tapeworms. We as well have a liver fluke. So these are the examples of internal parasites. Now, these parasites are dangerous. These parasites, whether external or internal parasites, are dangerous. Let us look at the effects of parasites. One, we are saying these parasites cause poor health. How do they cause poor health? We are saying they spread diseases. For example, ticks, fleas, lice, flies. They will cause poor health in our animals as well as in people. Take for instance, you have lice. You are going to experience poor health. Why? Because the lice will keep on feeding on you. Apart from that, they cause skin irritation. How do they do that? We are saying they are always biting. And sucking blood. So those bites will irritate your skin. It is going to irritate your skin such that you begin developing sores. Even in animals, you will notice that your animals will begin developing sores. So if you have a dog and your dog is having these, you need to work on it. You will discover that it will begin developing sores on the ears and even around the body. So they cause skin irritation. Apart from that, they cause anemia. Now, anemia is said to be the loss of blood in the body. How is that caused? Because they are always sucking your blood. These parasites are always sucking your blood. Hence, you will develop anemia. Aside from that, we are saying they lead to poor quality of products. How? Take for instance in animals. We usually depend on animals for animal skin. Now, if this animal skin has been attacked by the ticks, by the fleas, by the lice, by the flies, it is going to have what? It is going to have sores, it is going to have spots. Hence, the skin that we are going to get from that animal will not be of good quality. It is going to be of very poor quality. Internal parasites such as roundworms, tapeworms, liver fluke as well, they cause different diseases. Internal parasites such as liver fluke will make you lose your appetite. Having looked at these effects, that are a number of them, it is important that we also look at how we can control these parasites. It is important that we control these parasites. What are some of the control measures that we can put in place to ensure that these parasites are controlled? What do you think are some of the control measures that we can put in place to ensure that these parasites are controlled? Well, I'm sure you're trying to brainstorm where you are, and among the things we can do is by dipping animals. So we are saying by dipping what? Animals. Dipping animals. By dipping animals. How do you dip animals? You prepare a solution of chemicals as well as water. Then you allow animals to do what? To pass through that solution. By so doing, it is going to help to kill external parasites. Now, you have to be mindful that dipping is used to control external parasites only. It is used to control external parasites only. Another control measure is by spraying chemicals. Spraying chemicals. Spraying chemicals on animals. So again, spraying chemical on animals is the control measure for external parasites. So what you do again, you have to prepare a solution of water as well as chemicals. Then you do a random spray of these chemicals on animals. This is going to help to control ticks, to control fleas, to control lice, to control flies. So spraying chemicals on animals is a control measure for external parasites. Apart from that, we are saying deworming what? Animals. Deworming animals. Deworming animals. Now, there are different kinds of medicines that are given to animals to ensure that we deworm. So deworming animals helps to control internal parasites. Deworming animals helps to control internal parasites such as roundworms, tapeworms, liver fluke as well. So this involves giving medicine to what? To animals. You give different medicines to animals, including the dogs that we keep at our different homes. We are supposed to ensure that these animals are properly dewormed. We are supposed to ensure that these animals are properly dewormed. Apart from deworming animals, dear viewers, you can also practice what we are calling rotational grazing. Practice rotational grazing. You practice rotational grazing. What do we mean by practicing rotational grazing? What we mean is that animals such as cattle, they feed from different fields. We take them out to do what? To feed. So instead of allowing these animals to be feeding from the same spot each and every time, we are supposed to rotate. This week, they feed from this portion. Another week, you take them to a different portion. The other week, you take them to a different portion. By so doing, from those grazing spots, there are these parasites. So once you rotate, the parasites from such grazing spots will do what? Will die of hunger because they will have nowhere to feed from. Because animals will have been moved from that spot to another. So we should practice what? Rotational grazing. This is what I had for you, but before I leave you, let us go through the work once more, then I'll provide an activity for you to do at home. We have been looking at parasites. We have said a parasite is an organism that lives. It lives and feeds on another organism. A parasite is an organism that lives and feeds on another organism. That organism where the parasite gets its food from, where the parasite lives on, is known as a host. The organism where the parasite lives and gets its food from is known as a host. So, moving forward, we will be using more of the word host. Once we say host, you have to know to say That is where a parasite does what? Feeds and lives on. There are different types of parasites like we have discovered: external parasites and internal parasites. External parasites and internal parasites. What are external parasites? These are parasites that live outside the body of an organism. External parasites are parasites that live outside the body of an organism. Examples of external parasites are ticks, fleas, lice, and tsetse flies. Ticks, fleas, lice, and tsetse flies. These are external parasites. Apart from external parasites, we have internal parasites. Internal parasites are parasites that live inside the body of an organism. These are parasites that live inside the body of an organism. Examples include roundworms, tapeworms, liverflock. Roundworms, tapeworms, liverflock. We are saying these parasites have effects. These parasites have effects. One, these parasites cause poor health both to animals and to people. They cause poor health to animals as well as to people. Then they cause skin irritation. Apart from that, they cause anemia. We said anemia is a loss of blood in the body. So it could be a loss of blood in the body of an animal or loss of blood in the body of a person. Apart from that, we said they lead to poor quality of products. Since we have seen the effects of these parasites, we can as well look at the control measures of parasites. We are saying one, dipping animals in chemicals. Where we can't manage to dip animals in chemicals, we are saying spraying chemicals on animals. Then, to control internal parasites, we are saying deworming animals. Deworming simply means giving medicine to animals. In order to control the internal parasites. Aside from deworming animals, we are saying we practice rotational grazing for animals. This time around, I will present an activity which you will have to do at home. Okay, so here is the exercise that you are going to do. There are 5 questions. The first one says, what is a parasite? So you are going to explain what a parasite is. A parasite lives and feeds on a dash. So you are going to state what a parasite feeds on, where it lives. Then state the 2 types of parasites. We did mention to say there are 2 types of parasites. So you are going to state the 2 types of parasites here. After stating the 2 types of parasites, question 4 says, list 2 examples of each type mentioned in question 3. List 2 examples of each type mentioned in question 3. So each type of parasite that has been mentioned, from the 2 types now, you pick 2 examples for each. Then question 5 says, state the effects of parasites. State 2 effects of parasites. So you are going to state the 2 effects of parasites. The 2 effects that parasites have on the animals. This has been Teacher Sivile taking you in science. Until next time, bye-bye.